The house exhales after the door closes, and the sound settles into the hallway. Keys rest beside the phone, its screen still lit with unread notifications and one unfinished email waiting in a quiet corner. From the other room, the faint tapping of a keyboard lingers in the air, like someone finishing the last line before finally standing up at the end of work. Shoes are left slightly askew near the wall, and a jacket slips down the back of a chair without much attention. The phone vibrates once, then stills again, face up on the table where scrolling had slowly thinned into silence. In that small pause, the evening begins to gather itself, not with anything grand, just with the ordinary weight of another day gently set down as the door closes. The evening begins in small movements, the kind that do not ask to be noticed. The phone lies on the table, still carrying the faint warmth of a hand that has been holding it through traffic and the last few minutes of scrolling. A notification slides across the screen, a group chat still awake, an email marked urgent but softened by the quiet of the house. In the kitchen, a chair is pulled out slowly, and someone sits without turning on the television. The keyboard tapping from earlier echoes once more in memory, as if the body is still half at work, half here. The phone vibrates again, a small insistent sound, then rests when it is finally turned face down. There is rice left in the pot and a plate waiting to be rinsed. The air holds a faint trace of office air conditioning clinging to fabric, mixing now with the warmer breath of home. Another message arrives, words stacking gently on the screen, but they do not demand an answer right away. Fingers hover above the glass, then withdraw, as if remembering that the day has already given enough. The keyboard tapping that filled the afternoon is replaced by softer sounds now, water poured into a cup, a spoon touching porcelain, the low scrape of a chair leg across tile. At the end of work, there is often a thin line between finishing and carrying it home. It shows up in the way the phone keeps lighting up, in the reflex of checking one more email, in the small tightening of shoulders when a name appears on the screen. Yet the house remains steady. The hallway light casts a mild glow, and the rooms feel familiar in their arrangement. Shoes by the door, a bag leaning against the wall, the quiet shape of a sofa that has waited all day without asking for anything. The phone vibrates once more. It is only a brief tremor, barely louder than a heartbeat against the table. Someone glances at it, reads the first few words of a message, and then lets the screen dim on its own. The tapping of keys is no longer urgent here, it has softened into the rhythm of memory, a sound that belongs to another room, another set of hours. Dinner is simple. Bowls are placed side by side, steam rising and disappearing quickly into the evening air. A notification flashes again, the glow briefly reflecting in a spoon before fading. The email can wait until morning. The group chat will keep moving without this one voice for a little while. The room does not collapse because a reply is delayed. After eating, the plate is rinsed, and water runs briefly over fingers that have typed and scrolled all day. The phone is picked up once more, thumb scrolling through headlines, then pausing on nothing in particular. The tapping of the keyboard has ended for now, replaced by the soft brushing sound of fabric as someone leans back into the chair. There is no announcement that the workday is over. It simply thins out, like the last line of an email left unsent. In the living room, the lights are left dim. The phone rests near the edge of the table, screen dark but not fully asleep. Messages continue somewhere beyond the walls, but they do not enter the room unless invited. A hand reaches toward the phone again, hesitates, then withdraws. The small world inside the screen waits patiently. In that quiet, the body remembers the weight of sitting still. Shoulders lower by a fraction. The air feels different when it is not filled with typing and alert tones. There is no ceremony to mark this shift. Only the ordinary act of standing up from the table, walking toward the hallway, and letting the door close. The hallway is narrower at night, or maybe it only feels that way after a long day. The phone travels from room to room, carried without thinking, its screen lighting up in small pulses that trace faint shapes against the wall. Another message from the group chat appears, then an email marked with a subtle urgency, the kind that usually pulls attention back into unfinished tasks. The thumb moves almost automatically, opening, scrolling, scanning lines that once would have felt important. The memory of keyboard tapping returns in the background, steady and mechanical, as if the office has followed home in a quieter form. In the bedroom, the air is softer. A lamp is switched on, not too bright, just enough to hold the corners of the room in a mild glow. Clothes are folded absent-mindedly at the edge of the bed, the phone resting nearby, screen tilted upward like a small window that refuses to close. A notification slides in again, its movement smooth and practiced. For a moment, the body leans forward, drawn toward the habit of answering quickly, before settling back instead. The tapping of keys belongs to earlier hours. Here, the only sound is the faint brushing of fabric and a distant car passing outside. The end of work does not arrive with a clear boundary. It lingers in the shoulders, in the eyes that still scan sentences as if searching for something to correct. Another email preview appears. The subject line is brief. The screen glows against the dim light of the lamp, a cool contrast to the warmth of the room. Fingers hover above the phone, then pause, as if remembering that nothing inside that glowing rectangle can rush the evening forward. Scrolling continues for a few minutes, not for information, just for the comfort of movement. Images pass by, updates from people living parallel lives, small fragments of other kitchens and other desks. The group chat fills with short replies, each one a tiny echo of the day that has not quite ended. The phone vibrates softly, then again, then quiets. The body remains still on the bed, breathing steady, letting the screen dim once more without touching it. In the mirror across the room, a faint reflection shows someone sitting, phone in hand, shoulders slightly curved. The tapping of a keyboard has been replaced by the lighter touch of a thumb across glass. It is a quieter sound, almost nothing, yet it holds the same pull. For a moment, the phone is lifted closer to the face, the glow reflecting in tired eyes. Then it is lowered again, resting on the blanket where the fabric gathers in soft folds. There is a small relief in not answering immediately. The email remains unread for now. The group chat continues without interruption. The world beyond the walls keeps moving, but it does not press against this room unless invited. A hand reaches for the phone once more, scrolling a little further, then stopping at no particular place. The lamp hums faintly. The house has grown quieter than before, the earlier sounds of dishes and footsteps already settled. The screen brightens for one last check, a quick glance at the top notification, the edge of a sentence, the timestamp marking how recently it arrived. There is no urgency left in the body. The phone is set on the bedside table, still within reach but no longer held. The light from the screen fades slowly, and the room returns to its gentle yellow. Somewhere beyond the door, another message arrives, unnoticed. The hallway remains still. And the door closes. Later, the house settles into a quieter rhythm that does not need to be announced. The bedroom light stays low, and the phone rests on the bedside table, screen dark but not fully asleep. A new email arrives, then another message from the group chat, their presence marked only by a small glow that briefly interrupts the dim yellow of the lamp. The sound of keyboard tapping from earlier in the day feels distant now, almost like something that happened to someone else. The body leans back against the headboard, not reaching immediately for the screen. There is a thin stretch of time here, suspended between habit and rest. The hand drifts toward the phone, lifts it, and scrolls through the latest updates without much focus. Words pass by in even rows. The mind reads them, but they do not settle deeply. Another notification appears at the top, an email subject line that might have once tightened the chest. Now it is simply there, waiting. The screen glow reflects faintly on the wall, soft and pale against the quiet of the room. The house feels smaller in this hour, as if the walls have drawn closer in a gentle way. The hallway beyond the door is still. The air carries no more movement from the kitchen or living room. Only the faint rustle of fabric as someone shifts position on the bed. The phone vibrates lightly once, then rests again. The sound is brief, almost polite. Scrolling slows. The thumb pauses longer between movements. The group chat continues in small bursts, replies stacking in casual lines that do not require immediate presence. An unfinished email remains open in another tab, its cursor blinking patiently somewhere unseen. The memory of afternoon keyboard tapping lingers in the fingers, but they do not move toward the keys anymore. The workday has thinned into something quieter, less defined. There is comfort in the ordinariness of this moment. The phone is held loosely now, not gripped as tightly as before. The light from the screen softens the edges of the room, illuminating the corner of a pillow, the curve of a blanket. A distant car passes outside, barely noticeable. Another message appears, then fades into the growing stack of unread lines. The body shifts slightly, sliding down against the headboard. The phone is brought closer for one last look, the eyes tracing the latest notification without opening it fully. The email can wait. The conversation can continue without this one voice for a little while longer. The tapping of keys has been replaced by the quiet hum of the night. In this slower stretch of time, there is no need to decide anything. The screen brightness feels almost too sharp against the dim yellow light of the lamp. A thumb moves toward the edge of the display, adjusting it lower, just enough that the glow becomes gentler on tired eyes. The room seems to accept this small change without comment. The phone is placed back on the table, slightly farther from the edge than before. Its surface catches a faint reflection of the ceiling light before the screen dims again. The air feels steadier now, less crowded by the earlier rhythm of work and messages. Somewhere beyond the walls, more emails are sent, more keyboards tapped. Here, the only sound is the quiet shift of someone turning onto their side. The door remains closed, holding the night in place. And the door closes, the night grows thicker without anyone noticing the exact moment it happens. The lamp is still on, but dimmer now against the dark outside the window. The phone lies face up again, pulled closer by habit, its screen lighting softly with another email preview and a short line from the group chat. The tapping of keyboards continues somewhere far away, in other rooms, in other houses, in offices that have not yet emptied. Here, the only sound is the faint shift of sheets as someone settles more deeply into the mattress. There is a quiet negotiation between attention and rest. The hand reaches for the phone, not urgently, just out of familiarity. A few lines are read. A message is opened, then closed without replying. The email subject line remains unopened, hovering in the top corner like a thought that does not insist. The glow from the screen outlines the curve of a wrist, the edge of a pillow, then fades when the phone is lowered slightly. Scrolling feels different at this hour. Slower. Less searching. Images and sentences pass by without much weight. The group chat has softened into scattered replies, small remarks about tomorrow, about things that can wait. The body feels heavier against the bed, shoulders no longer held in that subtle tension carried from the end of work. Another notification arrives, its movement smooth and almost silent. The phone vibrates once, then rests. There is no rush to answer. The day has already closed most of its doors. The memory of afternoon keyboard tapping now feels distant, like rain that fell earlier and has already dried. Fingers brush lightly against the screen, then pause at the brightness setting. The glow seems too sharp against the dim yellow of the lamp. It is lowered again, just a little, until the light no longer feels intrusive. The room holds this smaller light gently. The walls do not react. The ceiling remains still. Outside, a car passes, its sound brief and then gone. The phone is lifted once more, a final glance at the unread email, at the stacked messages waiting in the group chat. There is nothing urgent enough to break the quiet. The body recognizes this without needing to name it. The phone rests against the blanket, its edge pressing lightly into soft fabric. A thumb hovers over the screen, tempted to type a quick reply, to clear one notification before sleep. Instead, the hand relaxes. The message remains unanswered. The email remains unopened. The tapping of keyboards continues somewhere else, in a different rhythm, not touching this room. The lamp casts a faint halo on the bedside table. The air feels steadier, almost heavier with stillness. Another small vibration arrives, softer than before, as if even the phone has grown tired. The screen lights up briefly, showing the top of a message, then dims when no one touches it. The body shifts slightly, turning toward the wall. The phone is nudged a few inches farther away, no longer within immediate reach. Its presence is still there, but quieter now, less central. The room feels larger in the absence of constant light. There is no final check. No last scroll. The house has already decided for the night. A hand reaches toward the lamp switch. And the door closes. The lamp is turned off, and the room shifts into a softer outline. Only the phone remains as a small square of light on the bedside table, glowing faintly against the dark. Another email arrives, unnoticed at first, then marked by a quiet vibration that trembles across the wood. The group chat continues somewhere beyond the walls, a thread of messages weaving through other bedrooms, other late hours. The memory of keyboard tapping lingers like a distant echo, but it no longer belongs to this space. Lying on one side, the body feels the steady rhythm of breath against the pillow. The phone lights up again, its screen casting a pale glow across the edge of the blanket. A preview of an email appears, only a few words visible before the rest hides behind a tap that does not come. The vibration is softer now, almost hesitant. The hand does not reach for it immediately. There is a long pause where nothing happens. The air feels cool against the face. The ceiling disappears into shadow. The phone remains lit for a moment, then dims on its own, returning the room to a deeper quiet. Somewhere in the distance, a car passes, its sound fading quickly. After a while, the hand moves without urgency, lifting the phone one more time. The screen brightens, illuminating tired eyes that read the top line of a message and then let it be. The email remains unopened. The group chat has slowed to shorter replies, single words, small acknowledgements that do not demand presence. The tapping of keyboards elsewhere continues, but here, there is only the soft brush of fabric as someone adjusts the blanket. The screen brightness feels sharper against the darkness than it did before. A thumb slides down, lowering it slightly, softening the light until it blends more gently with the night. The phone is held for a few seconds longer, not scrolling now, just resting in the hand. The glow becomes less distinct, less insistent. There is no thought about tomorrow's tasks. No counting of unread messages. The phone vibrates again, a brief ripple of sound, then stillness. The hand remains steady. The body does not respond. The house feels fully quiet now, as if every room has agreed to hold the same silence. The phone is placed back on the table, screen facing up but no longer bright. It lies there without movement, carrying its small world of notifications quietly within it. The air in the room feels thicker, settled. The distant echo of keyboard tapping has dissolved into memory entirely. Breath deepens. The blanket shifts slightly with each exhale. The phone lights up once more, showing a new email, a short message from the group chat. The glow reaches the edge of the pillow and stops there. No one turns toward it. After a few seconds, the light fades. The vibration does not come again. The room returns to shadow, steady and complete. A hand reaches toward the edge of the bedside table, brushing lightly against the phone, making sure it is secure and not about to fall. And the door closes. Somewhere past midnight, the house becomes something else entirely. The air feels still in a way that only happens when everyone has stopped moving for hours. The phone rests on the bedside table, no longer bright, its screen dark but holding the quiet weight of unread emails and muted group chat lines. There is no keyboard tapping now, not even in memory. Only the soft rhythm of breathing fills the room. The darkness settles evenly across the walls. Outside, a distant car passes, its sound barely reaching the window before dissolving into the night. The phone lights up once, briefly, a small rectangle of pale glow that does not reach the ceiling. A new email arrives. A short message appears in the group chat. The vibration is so soft it almost blends into the steady breath beside it. No one turns toward it. The light fades on its own, leaving the room unchanged. The bedside table remains steady, the lamp switched off hours ago. The day that began with keyboard tapping and constant notifications has narrowed into this thin, quiet moment. The phone, once held tightly, now feels like just another object resting in the dark. There is a certain gentleness in this hour. The body no longer carries the edge of unfinished tasks. The unread email does not press against the chest. The group chat continues without this one presence, lines stacking quietly somewhere beyond the walls. The phone vibrates again, once, then falls still. Breath deepens. The blanket shifts slightly as someone turns onto their back, eyes closed. The glow from the screen appears again, softer than before, illuminating only the edge of the pillow. The email subject line is visible for a second, then disappears as the screen dims. Nothing in the room responds. The silence does not break. The house holds everything gently now, the hallway, the kitchen, the bedroom with its dim outlines. Earlier, the end of work felt like something that needed to be managed, something that lingered in notifications and half-read messages. Here, it feels distant. The tapping of keyboards belongs to another time zone, another rhythm entirely. The phone remains where it is, face up, quiet. The air feels slightly cooler against the skin. Somewhere in the distance, a refrigerator hums faintly, then fades into the background. Another message arrives, its light barely noticeable through closed eyelids. There is no reach for it. The body has already settled beyond the pull of the screen. Shoulders loosen further into the mattress. The small world inside the phone continues to move, emails sent, replies added, conversations flowing. None of it enters this room without permission. Minutes pass without measurement. The darkness feels complete now, steady and even. The phone lights up one last time, a soft glow that brushes the edge of the blanket before dimming again. A hand shifts slightly in sleep, brushing against the bedside table, making sure nothing falls. And the door closes. In the deepest part of the night, the house holds its shape without effort. The hallway is only a darker shade of quiet, the kitchen only a memory of earlier light. On the bedside table, the phone lies still, carrying its unread emails and silent group chat lines without asking to be seen. The air feels even. There is no tapping of keys now, no scrolling thumb tracing small circles across glass. Only the steady rise and fall of breath under the blanket. Outside, a distant car moves through the street and disappears, leaving nothing behind but the same thin silence. The phone lights up once more, briefly, a pale square against the dark. A message arrives. An email waits. The glow touches the edge of the pillow and fades again without being opened. Nothing in the room changes. Somewhere beyond the walls, work continues, keyboards answer one another in soft repetition. Here, the night remains whole. A hand shifts in sleep, brushing lightly against the bedside table, ensuring the phone stays in place. And the door closes.